Hey guys, we're here at the barn. That's Spooky the barn cat, and today we're gonna learn all about how to get horses ready for horseback riding. We have a special guest. Her name is Erica, and she's my sister. She's been riding horses for a very long time, and we're gonna learn all about it. I'm so excited. Thanks for coming with me today. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Erica, Stephanie's sister, and today I'm going to show you all about horses.
This is the tack room. In the tack room, Erica finds all of the supplies that she needs in order to get the horse ready to go horseback riding. She starts by putting her riding boots on, and then slowly sets up all of the materials that she's going to need. This is the saddle and saddle pad. She does things one at a time so they don't get mixed up. Next, she gets the bridle and the girth. After that, she gets another saddle pad to make sure the horse is comfortable. The same way that we get our bodies ready in suds before we start working, Erica needs to get the horse's body ready. Let's see how.
So this here is Clyde, and first we're going to give him a light grooming before we ride him. So the first thing I'm going to do is curry him with this curry comb, and it's going to lift up all the dust in his coat. You hold it right in your hand like this, and you make small circles on his back. And it pulls up all the dirt and hair. When you walk to the other side of the horse, you always want to walk in front. Next step after currying is brushing off all the dirt we just lifted. So we're going to use a hard brush for that, and the bristles are very, very tough. So you just make little flicks with your hands, and that's going to remove all the dirt and hair. And it's important to go in the direction of his fur, which is this way. So we're gonna make sure we're brushing with our little flicks in that direction. Right here, the hair goes up, so we can go up with it. So the next thing is we have to pick out his feet. Inside the hoof, all the dirt collects, so we're going to use this little hoof pick to pull out all the dirt. So we're going to ask him to pick up his foot, and we're going to scrape and pull out all the dirt. And look at all that coming out. And now that we lifted it, we use the brush end, and we just brush it away. You don't want to forget the sides of the hoof. Perfect. The next step is we're going to brush out all the shavings in his tail. So we grab the whole thing, give it a nice squeeze, and brush. You don't want to make sure you're gentle on his tail because he can feel when all the hair pulls, just like you can on your head. He's all groomed, we are ready to ride. So the first thing is we're going to put on our saddle pad. So it's going to go over the top and make sure it's sitting up nice and high over his withers, and this band should be right here behind his shoulders. And it goes over just like that.
It's got a bump.
I'm going to go fix on the other side. But the first thing is we're going to lift it so all the pads are not sitting on his bone right up here. Just want to make sure there's a nice gap about the size of your hand. And then you just just double check to make sure that this pad, the saddle, is sitting right on top of it always. So you double check it, see how it's kind of not on this side. So we're gonna adjust it. And that way it distributes the weight of the saddle and my weight evenly, so it doesn't make any hard pressure points on his back. So the next thing is the girth, because we have to attach the saddle to him. This is not Clyde's favorite, and he knows. So we always start putting the girth on the opposite side, which is the right side of the horse. We're gonna go there first. Put the girth on. All right, so then you reach under, you grab it, and we start with just the first strap, and it's gonna go attach to the first bit.
Because attaching the girth is not Clyde's favorite, Erica does this one hole at a time to ease him into it so he gets used to the idea of something tight being around his belly. After every hole, Erica pats him and tells him he did a really good job, and slowly they move on to the next hole until the girth is tightened appropriately.
And the next thing is the bridle. Oh, before we bridle, safety first. So you always gotta wear your helmet because you never know if you could fall off or in case of any injury. Okay, right to the bridle. All right, so this is our bridle. So we have here, this is the bit. This part will go inside his mouth and it will sit right behind his teeth. And this part will go on the top, right under his ears. So to put it on, we're gonna put the reins over his head first. And that way, when we unattach all of this, we still have control of him. He's not going anywhere, but.
It doesn't matter if you're a human or a horse. Before you do any kind of exercise, you need to get your body ready. Well, how does a horse get their body ready? Believe it or not, it's the same way that we do, by doing little warm-ups. Now, Erica's going to show us how her and Clyde warm up before horseback riding. Erica and Clyde start by making small, tight circles. To do this, Erica applies different amounts of pressure to his reins to get him to move in small or big circles. The next thing Erica and Clyde are going to work on is moving his head side to side while he's standing still. In order for her to do this, she's going to pull on each side of the rein one at a time. She'll start with the left and the right. She'll get him to move his head farther and farther back each time. This doesn't hurt him, it's just a stretch. When he does a good job, she makes sure to give him plenty of praise and love. Did you know that horses can actually walk backwards? Here, Erica is showing us how Clyde is able to walk backwards in the ring. This takes a lot of time and practice, but Clyde has mastered it. Erica and Clyde are going to demonstrate to us how Clyde is learning a new skill. He's learning to turn himself in a circle by only moving his back legs. He tries to keep his front legs in the same position as much as possible. This takes a lot of time and practice, and Clyde is still working on it, but he's doing a great job. After that great warm-up, Erica and Clyde are finally ready to start horseback riding. Clyde is all stretched out and warmed up, and Erica and him are going to work together on perfecting their routine around the ring. He's still learning a lot of new skills, so there's a lot of repetition involved. Fun fact! Did you know there's actually 2 ways to control a horse when you're horseback riding? What do you think they are? You can control a horse by using the reins that are in your hand, applying pressure, pulling one way or the other, but you can also control a horse using your body. The way that you sit on the saddle, the way that you move, the way you move your feet and your legs, all of that communicates to the horse how he should move. It takes a lot of time to build a relationship with the horse to get him to understand what you want. The more that you spend time with the horse, the more that you practice, the easier it is for the two of you to create your own language and to be able to work together smoothly. Erica just got finished riding Clyde. She's going to curry him and brush him again and take all of the equipment back off and then get Albert ready. This is Albert. Albert is older than Clyde and he's still working on skills too. For example, Albert does not like to wait. He gets very impatient. Sometimes, while he's being good, we give him a treat. Did you know horses love to eat carrots? To feed a horse, you always put your hand out flat and let the horse eat the snack off of the palm of your hand. Even though Albert is older than Clyde and Erica has known him longer, Albert still does the exact same workouts that Clyde did before. The same way that people can be impatient, so can horses. So Erica right now is teaching Albert how to be patient and stand and wait, nice and calm. This is my favorite part of visiting the barn. This is Spooky. He's a barn cat. And he just rubs up against you, sits here, watches the horses. These chickens live on the farm. We got Goldie, Peepers, and Mama. And they produce yummy eggs for everybody to eat. Back out in the ring, Erica and Albert are still working together. Erica comes to the barn to work with Clyde and Albert a couple times a week and usually spends about 2 hours here. Erica taught us so much information today. We learned how to groom a horse, that we need a curry comb and a hard brush and a hoof pick. Erica even took us into the tack room and showed us how to get a horse ready. We learned about saddle pads and bridles, reins, and a girth. And most importantly, the helmet. Guys, that was it. I hope you had a good time. Thanks for coming. And from me, Spooky, and the horses, see ya.